Kev, before we jump into Axslav versus Ganzi, let's make some predictions.
Yes, let's do it on time for once. Man, you had the first one up on me. Why did I bet against Vibe?
You can't bet against Vibe. It's like betting against Puma.
And Lowly.
And yet nobody bets against Lowly.
No. Axslav versus Ganzi. I'm going to take the easy way out once more. I think Ganzi is going to take it, but I mean, I like Axslav's PvT in general. I used to love his late game army control as well. I felt always he was pretty good at protecting those high Templars, so I wouldn't be surprised if Axslav takes it, but I think Ganzi is going to take it. Ganzi needs to win, man. He had a really good start of the season. He was 2-0, but he lost in the previous 2 weeks. So I think he's keen on winning again.
I'm going to agree with you, Kev. I do think Ganzi is going to take this series, and I would love to be proven wrong because Axslav is one of my favorite North American Protoss players, or just Protoss players in general. He's a great dude, great player, very insightful. Has a degree in teaching, so maybe one day you'll be in a classroom and you'll see like Professor Axslav.
I wouldn't be surprised.
What if his name was like Mr. Axslav? Hello, class. You can call me Mr. Axslav. My name is Nick Ranish, but you can call me Mr. Axslav.
I would love him as my professor, man. I think, yeah, you can learn a lot from this guy. Axslav is, of course, our red Protoss, spawning on the left bottom side of Daybreak, which is our first map, obviously. And Complexity's Ganzi is our Korean Terran, spawning in the right top side of this map. First map, Daybreak, is not that bad for Axslav, I can imagine. I think a lot of Protoss players feel really safe on this map. It's kind of hard to drop because you can't really go here with drop ships, and it's kind of easy to leave a cannon over here or 1 or 2 high Templars. And then the moment you're gonna have your turret base over here, basically your natural is always safe. You don't really have to worry about anything.
Right, you made a great point with the drops. It's very difficult to drop on Daybreak because of the limited surface area. Yeah, so like you said, any drop that kind of comes into the base is going to have a very hard time getting out of the base.
Oh, Axslav is going Nexus first, man, and I mean, a lot of Protoss players have been doing it. I've been practicing this build a lot because I just see it getting more and more popular everywhere, so I try to experiment with it. And this is one of those builds that if you observe a game like this, you think everything speaks for itself. Okay, the Terran probably goes no gas, fast expand, Protoss goes Nexus first, turns into macro game. If you are the Protoss player in this perspective, that's not what's going through your mind, man. You are super paranoid about everything. Are there proxy Rexes? Is he actually faking the expand? Is he gonna all-in me? Does he have a refinery or not? So many things are so extremely important. Well, Ganzi is not really hiding that the fact that he's going for a command center. So right now you could say the options are already a little bit more limited. Axslav probably feels more safe right now because he saw this. But still, what if this probe dies? He cancels the command center, makes 3 Rex and still goes all in. It's really hard to hold that stuff.
Yeah, you're right. But Axslav has gotten that good scout off. Ganzi, of course, being very amicable, allowing that command center to be scouted, building it on the low ground like he did. But Nexus first against 1 Rex CC is on paper, it's pretty good for Protoss.
This is lovely for Protoss, unless Ganzi would put something really like weird right now. Axslav is just going to be ahead economically. But it's just funny because this is one of those things that I always feel whenever I cast these games, you know, like in the start I was like, oh yeah, Nexus first against no gas, fast expand most likely. But if you are actually the Protoss player, you have to worry about so many different timings, man. It's mad. It's really mad. It makes me mad. Not as mad as Hasu, but...
Nothing. No one's ever as mad as Hasu. Hasu is the most mad.
Oh, Hasu is so nice.
Hasu is more mad than Braddock is dangerous.
Oh, you can't say that about Hasu. He's so nice.
I love Hasu, but he's always mad. Yeah. A couple of Marines are out on the map for Ganzi. They're going to spot this initial Zealot.
Yeah, but this is scary now already.
Oh, good control by Ganzi. Keeps the SCV alive. Does lose a Marine. The Marine gets chopped right in half by the Zealot.
Like if I were Axslav right now, just for a split second, I would have been afraid. If I saw those 3 Marines and SSVs, like, oh no, not again, what's coming in? But fortunately for him, nothing is coming. And the moment you have those Stalkers out, that's actually the phase of the game where you can start feeling more safe as Protoss. Because Stalkers, if they meet some Marines in the middle of the map, you can kite them, you can micro a little bit, you can control the Selnak Watchtowers. This is actually the real moment where Protoss players finally have peace of mind.
Yeah, speaking of Stalkers, how ballsy is Ganzi? Still hasn't started a bunker. There it starts.
Yeah, but if you scout Nexus first, you can definitely delay that bunker for quite a bit. I think that makes a lot of sense.
And Ganzi's in no real trouble. Axslav not in any hurry to cross the map. Just going to control the Zelnaga tower with a single Stalker while he pokes around with his second one.
I love how he's just chrono boosting his Nexus, He really feels confident that Ganzi's not doing anything freaky.
11 probe lead.
Yeah, 11 probes ahead. That's massive. That's way more than Protoss would ever be ahead if they would go 1 gate fast expand or whatever. But it's also because Axslav has been chrono boosting so much, which is, you could say, a risky thing, but yeah, he's had a pretty good read on the game so far, and everything that he thinks is happening is actually happening, so yeah, he can afford to do so.
Yep, so far, so good. Ganzi getting that reactor and that starport. He is going to start with the medevac production soon. Getting a couple extra add-ons. No tech lab on any of these. Oh, wait, no, there is one tech lab. But he still hasn't built the first Marauder, which...
Marauder.
A little bit surprising. It's going to be a marine-centric playstyle out of Ganzi.
Axslav is expanding really quick right now, already whopping in that third nexus. That's so crazy. Even before he has a Twilight Council, before he has a robotics bay, he does have a robotics facility. Ooh, lost a Stalker over here on the right side of the map. Sorry guys, a little bit sloppy there by Axe. And then again, he can definitely afford to lose a Stalker if he's going to be on 3 bases so soon, man.
Yeah, I'm a bit more concerned about the first medevacs popping out, Kev, because when Ganzi starts attacking, Axslav is going to have so few units. He's got a Zealot, a Stalker, and 3 Sentries. Yeah,
you know how I always say that it's very hard to fight Stim Bio if you do not have Storm or Colossus or at least Charge. And that's basically the scenario that Axslav is going to find himself in. And he's going to need some really, really, really good force fields. But the problem is he doesn't just have to worry about this or about the drop. He has to worry about this base as well.
He's got to defend 3 bases. He's got to worry about drops. He's got to worry about just stim and running in.
And he has the slowest, weakest Protoss army possible. This spells disaster. Can you spell disaster for me, man?
D-I-S-A Axslav.
Not bad. One Marine of Ganzi is going to scout right now, and Ganzi is probably like, 3 bases already. That's not too bad for me, I think. Good luck defending against my Stimmed Bio push.
Yeah, and upon seeing that base, it's absolutely going to prompt a reaction. We can see him positioning some Marines, I think, to be picked up by these medevacs.
Yeah, he already has 1 medevac full. I would have loved to see him just leave a couple of Marines here. Why not, man? Stim in 4 Marines, try to pick up some probes. But Axslav is way out of position right now. X, where are your observers?
Not a single unit in the main base, Kevin. 16 Marines about to be unloaded there.
And Axslav doesn't know. Axslav doesn't know. You know, that's all.
Ouch, and here we go. Axslav does react pretty quickly, losing only a couple of probes. But he's going to lose more than probes, Kev. Robo taking heavy, heavy damage. It is probably, it is going to fall.
But not just that. I think if these Marines stay here, it's going to be so hard for Axslav to kill off these Marines. He doesn't have any damage output, Ben.
And he's picking off medevacs, which, I mean, it means that there's no exit for the Marines, but they don't really want to go anywhere.
Wow, we have a drop over here on the north side of the map as well. Axslav did take care of that, but these Marines, man, there are still so many Marines. If Ganzi is going to micro them, he's going to be able to do more damage than he's doing right now.
Axslav warping in more units, but only 2 Zealots against Stim Marines. They're not going to do very well.
Ganzi is microing right now. Now he's going to be able to pick off a lot of probes once more. So far, I really love the pressure that Ganzi is putting on Axslav.
Yeah, I love the pressure, but I'm starting to question whether or not he's doing enough damage. Well, he is taking a third.
He's also taking third, and he's buying so much time. He's not just killing probes and killing a few units. He's delaying everything that Axslav really wants to do in this game. So this was one push, Ben, but there can be another push, and that one is going to be just as scary.
Army Supply tells us that Ganzi is ahead, but not that far ahead. It's 34 Army Supply to 25. Worker Supply still favors Axslav. Ganzi's building his third, but it's not done yet, so...
But yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I know where you're going. I mean, Ganzi did a good job here.
Say it, Ben. I want you to say it.
Just Stim Bio and medevacs. There's nothing there for him.
Exactly. He still is in the same scenario. Axslav is in the exact same scenario as he was before that first push. And that next push is going to be even more scary.
This time there's going to be a cannon. Ganzi again going to drop the exact same place. Axslav's not as far out of position this time.
But does he have enough units to beat his army? I don't think so.
Not with Marauders in tow. Stalker's dying so fast. Still no charge.
Oh, that weapon is really nice though by Axslav.
Stalker's trying to pick off the medevac, and wow, actually Axslav does turn it around. Billy and Bubba getting chops down there at the end, but the second prong of this aggression. Well, this isn't going to work either. Nice force fields there.
Really pick up those units, Ganzi. That's exactly what he does, and now those force fields are going to work against Axslav. X is doing this really well, though. With such a weak army, he's staying alive for an incredibly amount of time.
He really is hanging in there, and a couple more force fields. Come on. 1 force field, at least 2. Okay. All right, well, still, the Sentry's going to pick off the medevac, and Ganzi's units will be stranded here. Don't lose your Sentries, Axslav!
One hero Marine did pick off finally 1 sentry, but that was okay for Axslav. But just now, man, just now he's finally starting up that follow tech. Just now he's researching charge. We do not have Templar Archives yet on the map. Still no robotics bay. The thing is, I think that Ganzi with his next push, he doesn't have to drop anymore. He can just fight straight up.
But he's gonna keep dropping. This time with 3 medevacs.
Look at the army supply right now, man.
Yeah, it's really heavily favoring Ganzi, but all of his supply is loaded up in drops, Kev, and if one of these drops goes poorly...
That's true, no doubt about that, but that's the thing, I don't think Ganzi needs to drop anymore. I can just think he can come with his entire army here and
Good lord, gateways. Yeah, Axslav up to 10 gates.
He's 1-1 upgrades now as well, 2-2 is on the way, and finally the Templar Archives is being wiped in. Ganzi is going to spot the fact that he shouldn't drop it, but he's still going to drop it, man.
Oh, he's going to go for it. One medevac goes down, a second one's going to fall, but there's so much bio here. Axslav trying to warp in off of all those gateways, and he's going to do a great job with this defense, and Ganzi again going to be cleaned up, and this time...
Well, he doesn't need to drop. Why is he dropping? He just gave away an army advantage of like, well, he's still 25 or 20.
Charge is going to finish, Kev, and the upgrade's also going to favor Axslav. Good force fields go down. Not great force fields, but good ones. And a few more Marines get chopped down.
Economically, it's very even right now, though.
But things are starting to really shift as Axslav with these critical upgrades, with charge, with 2-2 finishing up, with his robo down, with Templar Archives. He's getting blink. He's getting all these important upgrades, and
yeah, he already has all the gateways. He doesn't need to invest in that anymore. Wow, I can't believe that Axslav did this so extremely well for such a long time. I mean, sure, he lost a lot of gateway units every now and then, but the fact that he survived, man, this might have looked easy. This is so hard as Protoss.
Well, Axe is finally starting to take some substantial probe losses. He's lost up to about 20 probes now. And Ganzi's still persisting with this multi-pronged aggression, but Axslav is doing a great job of dealing with it.
Yeah, he might have lost 20 probes, but he's still on 75, so he's more than just fine. And I think now Ganzi is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Even though he's still ahead of army supply, I feel Ganzi always has a lot of units he doesn't really use.
Yeah, Axslav.
Well, just mad props to Axslav for staying alive that long without charge, without high Templars. It's really, really hard.
Another drop got picked off there in the back of the main base.
I saw it, man.
And everything just really coming together for Axslav. Now he's kind of in a position where he can be the aggressor. So I cannot believe this number of gateways. He's on 10. He's adding... What? He's going up to triple robo?
Wow, that's pretty crazy.
What? 3 robo Colossus.
Talking about a tech switch.
Yeah, as Ganzi is switching into Ghost in a big way, so that's going to be really tough for Ganzi to deal with.
I love this by Axslav. Axslav has that observe over here, and he saw that this was a completely exposed base, so he's going to just send 6-7 charge flows via the bottom side of the map, and that is so good. I love that map right now.
Ooh, big drop in the main base as Ganzi is also pushing across the top half of the map. This could be kind of tough for Axslav to do. These Zealots being microed very poorly, just kind of running in circles, getting picked to pieces in the main. Meanwhile, the fight outside the third base is going much better for Axslav, cleaning up a ton of Marines and Marauders.
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Actually, he's not even going to win this fight right now, and this drop is still dealing so much damage.
Axslav supply plummeting big time, and he's also losing the pylons powering these very important gateways. Marines and Marauders persisting from every angle. Finally, the third base gets cleaned up, but the main is the one that's taking all the damage.
Wow. I don't even see how Axslav is going to be able to deal with it. He only has 16 Zealots on the map right now. And there's still so many bio units in his main base. And most of those Zealots are on the other side of the map.
Losing so much critical tech. Templar Archives is going to go down. He's lost tons of gateways. Ganzi's doing more than buying himself time. He's just taking out Axslav's ability to rebuild.
This is not enough either for Axslav. He can't send in those Zealots. That's not going to be enough.
Where's Axslav's army? He doesn't have an army. He has 30 army supply.
I know that. It's very, very spread out, and he's losing units left and right.
Oh, losing upgrades. He's lost virtually every single gateway. Oh, Axslav, you played so well. But Ganzi.
Actually going to try to look at the amount of gas he has been. Just think of the amount of high Templars in Archons he would have been able to make. Oh, that really hurts. Losing the game as Protoss when you have that much gas.
Ugh. Nexus falls, the main going to be completely cleaned out.
Ganzi did this so well as well. Once again going for the big drop, which I thought was going to be risky because by now there are high Templars. So if he feedbacks and has a couple of Stalkers, he could have lost so many units, but this time Axslav was not prepared, and then all the Zealots just running circles and even losing that fight on the top side of the map. So sad for Axslav because, as you said, he did so many things right. And Ganzi did a lot right too, though. Of course, don't get me wrong, because he did. I mean, I loved his aggression for a long time, even though he wasn't finishing off Axslav. Well, look at all those gates once more. Axe is going to finally try to deal with his army, but well, might actually...
Yeah, it's an okay engagement. These well-upgraded Zealots will chop their way through. A lot of probes in the mix as well.
Yeah, look at the real army coming in from Ganzi right now. Yeah. The natural of Axslav. Ganzi has 117 army supply. Excellent macro, by the way, by this Korean Terran.
It's like the British army, they're all lined up. Shooting positions!
That's really sick, by the way, how good Ganzi's macro has been throughout this entire game, despite being so active with dropships, microing bio units, and still never letting his money skyrocket. That's impressive.
Yeah, Ganzi played absolutely great. If there's a critical mistake that Axslav made, Kev, I think it's the way he tried to switch into Colossus.
Yeah,
he never made, like he went Templar first, but he never made those Templar. He never got Storm, and there was just no answer to bio. I mean, charge lots are good to a degree, but
yeah, if the bio unit gets too hard, then even charge lots can deal with it anymore.
You've got to have some form of AoE, and there just wasn't one. I like what Axslav was trying to do. We've talked about the switch from Templar tech into Colossus several times before. It's a really powerful tech switch, but unfortunately, Axslav just didn't have any real way of dealing with Ganzi's army, and now we're seeing the result of that. GG comes out of Axslav. He played a great game, but Ganzi was just a little bit better.
No, it was a really good game. I really enjoyed that game for a very long time. And I think we said pretty much everything we could have possibly said about that game. I was just a little bit sad. Even if you want to trick your opponent into making a lot of ghosts, I think that's completely fine. That's smart. Triple robo might have been small overkill. Then again, his economy was so good. So maybe he could have afforded it. But why not have 2-3 High Templars in your base when you have that much gas?
Yep.
For feedback, it's like High Templars are the best thing ever against drops. Full medevac with a lot of energy drops in. You press F and you deal with it at once.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean...
And also, like one more point, the later it goes into the game, the more buildings that Protoss has in their main, the better drops get. Because charge loss, they can't really swarm around the bio units anymore because there are little paths everywhere. So in that case, it's even more reason to at least have that one High Templar feedback those medevacs before they even get in range. And even if you don't kill the medevac straight away, it kind of scares the Terran off that he doesn't actually want to drop there.
Ah, X.
It was a good game, though.
Yeah, literally, if Ganzi waits for 2 minutes, there's now 4 or 5 Colossus out and he's dead. But unfortunately for Axslav, Ganzi nailed the timings. Very well played there by the Korean Terran. We're going to play a quick commercial. That last game brought to you by GameMinder, a smartphone app that reminds you about stuff like games and NASL broadcasts.
Not bad.
And important dates.
Yes, man. Wrap it up.
That's it.
I want to cast some StarCraft, man. Wrap it up.
That's all I have to say.
Give it away.
It's a wrap.